Hey, this is Scotty from the Gifford Group, and today I wanted to jump into our buy versus wait calculator. So it kind of gives you an idea of what the real target is if you're looking to buy now, or if you're looking maybe, hey, I'm going to delay a little bit because I'm waiting for interest rates to drop. So it'll actually give you some real numbers to look at. Now, we also do have our buy versus rent calculator, which will tell you if it's cheaper to buy or rent over the short term, looking at the 1 to 3 year kind of time frame, maybe stretching out to 5, seeing what those actual numbers look like based on appreciation and cost and stuff like that. But this calculator is really just going to be looking at, hey, if I buy at this rate now versus what I think the rates are going to be later, what does that actually look like difference wise as far as the mortgage payment and the closing costs and the down payment, and what is the overall difference in those things. So it does a really quick job, really quick calculations. You can actually see if it's better to buy now or we should wait. So let's jump into the calculator and go check it out. Okay, so now here we are on the giffordgroup.net. And if you go over to our calculators and you drop down, you scroll down to the buy versus rent calculator. I put that on the same page because it's kind of the same idea if you're thinking about buying versus waiting. Now, if you scroll down, that calculator is going to be down here and you can check that out. We have another video about buy versus rent explaining that. But today we're just going to be talking about the, buy now versus, later calculator. And so the first thing you can easily see, there's some inputs you're going to put. I've kind of defaulted some things in there for you. And you can change any of these that you want. So let's start with the purchase price. Let's start with $350,000 home. Now it's a little slightly above the median price here in the Houston market. And let's say we're only going to put, now you can buy with as little as 0% down with a VA loan, 3.5% down with FHA, 5% conventional, 10% is probably more than the average person puts down, to be honest. I think it's about 7 to 9% is somewhere in that range about what the average person puts down for the mortgage. And then, and now, let's say we're going to put it off 2 years. So the average person's buying, let's put it at 10%, and then the average person's waiting 2 years because they think the rate's going to drop. So now let's say rates right now, right this recording, we're around 7. Let's say you're getting 7.25. Not a bad interest rates in the overall grand scheme of things, but high comparative to the last few years where we are really hanging out at the, 4s and 5s. And I've talked to a lot of people in the last couple of years, hey, I got a 2, I got a 3. So let's compare that to, and I don't think we're going to see the 5s anytime soon, but maybe we'll see around a 5.25 in say 2 years. And nobody knows. If they did, they'd be a billionaire. So no one really knows. And if someone tells you otherwise, they're full of it. But looking at what we expect to happen in the market, what the Fed is trying to do, curbing inflation, they're going to probably keep rates higher for a little bit, but then, they're looking to, hey, hopefully drop them in the future once inflation is under control, and maybe we'll see the rates back on the 5. So let's assume that the inflation rate, you can adjust all this. Let's say the inflation rate is it's been above 3, it's almost been pushing 4s, but we'll just say it's 3. And the closing cost, I just put that in there because that's going to be part. Typically, you see 1 to 2%. Let's just say it's like 1.7. So then we can hit calculate. It'll update the numbers we have in there. And so really quickly, it's going to give you some numbers to look at. All right, so we put in 7.25, and we're going to save a whole 2%. Awesome. So look at our monthly savings. And I don't know what the answer is going to be. I haven't done this one yet, so let's figure it out together. All right, so we're looking at, okay, it's $300 a month difference. Now that's a good savings, like awesome. Okay, but because we waited 2 years and because inflation was at 3%, the home that we were going to purchase today at $350,000 is now $371. So it's gone up about $21,000. Now some people say, well, that's a lot of money. It's not going to go up that much. But historically, if homes are appreciating in that, 2 to 3 to 4% range, that's not unrealistic for a home to go up. That's 6% essentially. 3% one year, 3% the next year, because we have the 2 years. So, it's only about $10,000 a year. It went up. So the down payment, if we were doing the 10%, we had to save $35,000, and now we're going to, 10% down, we're going to be at $37,000. And so, that difference is we got to save an extra $2,100 waiting the 2 years. And then, so our closing costs, we were about $6,000. We're up a little bit, up $364. So not a huge, it's only it's up 3% more. So our total cost, around $41,000, and now our total cost to wait, because down payment and closing costs went up a little bit, it's about $2,500 a month. So I'm sorry, $2,500 difference to wait just on closing costs and down payment. And so you can see now we saved the $303.48 for each month. So over those 2 years, we didn't pay the $7,000. We had $7,000 that we're saving. And I did want to interrupt my own video because I did went ahead and make some of those changes that I noticed when I was making this last video about the appreciation not being taken into account in the final numbers. So I wanted to include that. And I also gave a spot where you could include the rent. So let's check out those little differences real quick, and I'll continue back to what I was talking about. Kind of try to put the same numbers in, the 350, 10% down, all that stuff like that. I did add rents in there, so if you are renting currently, but even just, and if I just take the appreciation, that $21,000 of appreciation we were expecting, and I kind of add that back to, the differences, there's still a $16,000 difference if we went ahead and bought versus waiting. So that was good. And then if you did say, hey, well, I am paying rents, and even if you are paying some cheap rents, I go, okay, well, maybe my rents are, let's say, $1,500 a month. That $1,500 a month for 2 years is going to equal $36,000 in rents. That is going to be taken away. That's just money gone because it's not going toward principal payment. It's not going to my home ownership. I'm not getting the appreciation. So technically, if you look at it, I'm actually losing about $52,000 in waiting because I paid rents. I lost that on the $21,000 appreciation. I'm not even considering principal pay down here or tax breaks that we could be getting down below. But this is just purely me waiting to buy, waiting for interest rates to drop, so then I can afford to buy right now versus 2 years from now. So it's really just, I'm just really trying to drive home the point of why you shouldn't be waiting and why you should be just go ahead and buying as soon as you can, even if your down payment isn't at 20%. Like I say, you can always get rid of PMI later when your home appreciates. And let's just interrupt myself while I was making this video so you could, add those other couple things in there. Just make sure that you truly understand the true impact of waiting to buy and how you are missing out on the appreciation, how you are paying those rents, which is going not towards principal pay down or anything, or towards your home that is appreciating. It's just purely going towards someone else that is getting rich off of the money you are paying them monthly. So, well, thanks so much for watching, and back to your originally scheduled program. But so realistically, if we wait 2 years to buy, we spend an extra $2,500 to save $7,200 going forward. Now, we probably would have paid rent the whole time, which would have gone to zero. It's 100% interest on rent. So we haven't really been paying that. Are we really saving that much money by waiting is really what the calculator is trying to tell you. Lost off on $21,000 of appreciation, we're going to be in the hole. So maybe now I'm recording this video, but if you think about what we missed out on $21,000 for appreciation, why we were waiting, because we were trying to save $4,700 over 2 years, it's probably not worth it, right? In the grand scheme of things, the best time to buy a house was 20 years ago. The best time to buy a house today is now. So with all that said, I am a licensed mortgage officer here in the state of Texas. Our company is licensed through 40 different states. So if you are looking to get a home, purchase a home anywhere pretty much anywhere through the country, we can help you. But I just want to put this tool out there so that people can understand really what the cost benefit analysis is of looking at a renting versus buying. And obviously, like I said, you could change this, go back and say, well, I don't have 10% down. Well, maybe you can buy with 3.5% down. Maybe you can buy with 5. Maybe you got the 5% down, right? And you can see that the difference is, what it's going to cost you to wait to buy, right? Because home prices, they've only seen one time in history where home prices actually decreased. More stringent lending on the residential side of it. So I hate to tell you, it's probably not going to happen. We have more people being born every year, and we have more people moving this country. And especially in the bigger cities, we're not going to see home prices really drop off because people still want to live in homes and the demand's still there. We have one of the biggest demand hitting the market is the millennials who are wanting to move out of apartments, wanting to move out of their parents' homes and buying their own place to live in. I don't see demand for the American dream of owning your own home going in, the crapper, excuse my language, anytime soon. But play around the calculator. It's on the giffordgroup.net. Check it out. See what you think. Give me some feedback. I'd love to know if you like this video, if you hate this video, if you'd like to see more of this, like see breaking down some of the other calculators. We're just here to try to be a resource to people that are thinking about buying homes. We do all things real estate. I'll link to one of our blogs that shows all of what the Gifford Group does. Check out our one-stop shop blog post. Just really trying to get information out there so people can be informed. Just reach out to us via email. You can go to the contact us page. You can schedule a call with us if you are interested in buying a home. We will include a pre-approval link down below. And thanks so much for watching. As always, we're here to bring you real life experience to all your real estate needs. Hopefully dive into this a little deeper. If you have any questions about the calculator or you have any feedback, obviously send that to us.